historical forms of discrimination, current forms of discrimination, exclusion, sexual harassment, their overrepresentation in care work, their expectation to work 2 full-time jobs, one in the community, in their workplace, and another one at home, caring for the kids, doing all the housework. You know, women are overrepresented in those areas of work, and men are underrepresented in care work, right? So the sexual harassment along the way, the biases that exist in the workplace, lack of opportunities, the barriers that still exist for women to enter certain professional roles and areas of study as well. So understanding male privilege and understanding that for ourselves as men is really important in our quest, in our intent, in our interest in becoming better allies. So we have to do our own work, of course, to do that. And that begins with first recognizing that we have a role to play. So women's equality, ending gender-based violence is not just a women's rights issue, it's a human rights issue, and it's for all of us to get involved in and to be a part of. I'm often asked, you know, why do you do this work? Why are you working with White Ribbon, promoting gender equality, working to end gender-based violence? And my answer is always, you know, it's the decent thing to do. You know, this is an issue that is for all of us to work on. Why should it be just a women's issue, right? First and foremost. And I also tell them my story. You know, I grew up in a violent home. There was violence in my family. I grew up watching the women that I loved, the women in my life, in my community, experience that violence. I experienced some of that violence as well as a young kid. I made a promise to myself from a very young age that I would work to change this around, that I would, once I grew up, I would get out of that violence, and I would try to do my best to engage with others, to support the community, to support survivors, to support women, and to do the work for myself and invite others to be part of that as well. So I want to leave that question with you. You know, why do you want to be an ally? Why is this issue your issue? Why should it be your issue? So for the men in particular in the room, think about that. How does this connect to your own professional experiences, but also personal experiences? What kind of change can you be involved in, both at a personal, community, workplace, and institutional, sector-wide kind of level? So that realization is important first and foremost, and then do your own work, right? So many of us have histories of contributing to this violence and that discrimination, the harassment, and so forth. It's really important that we think back and we make amends, we acknowledge when harm was committed, and we take steps to correct those mistakes. That's so key in the path towards allyship. And once you do that hard work, then you can think about what role can you play. Listen to women, ask the questions, you know, how has this impacted your life? How has discrimination, sexual harassment impacted your career, your ability to do this work in our sector or beyond? Ask those questions, listen to women, listen to survivors, learn, and ask the question, how can I help you? How can I be an ally? How can I work together with you to create change within our workplace or within our institutions or within our community? Ask those questions. So support survivors, help build a consent culture, be an active bystander. So think about how you can positively intervene when you see jokes being thrown around or when you see someone being disrespectful towards women, when you hear a racist or homophobic joke or comment, you know, what can you do to make a difference? What can you do besides just sitting uncomfortably and sometimes laughing along, or even worse, contributing to that really problematic moment? Be a good role model, right? So young people are looking to you, other peers within the workplace, your coworkers, your colleagues, the people that report to you, the people that you report to are also looking for good examples. So be a good role model. It's so important in your process to become a good ally. and practice intersectionality. You can't cherry pick when you decide to make to be an ally. You can't speak out against misogyny, against sexism, against gender-based violence without speaking out against racism,